Bozoma St. John faces off with liar Kyle Richards in RHOBH reunion sneak peek. His might be Bozoma St. John's first reunion, but don't expect the newbie to hold back. A sneak peek of part 2 shows her going head-to-head with Kyle Richards after calling her a liar. Bozoma called out the OG earlier in the season for her relationship with Dorit Kemsley's estranged husband, Paul P.K. Kemsley. Dorit was upset to discover that the mom of 4 remained friends with PK, but the brunette beauty claimed they only exchanged memes online. However, the other women noticed the discrepancy when Kyle's text messages proved that her interaction with PK was more than that. Bozoma, who quickly bonded with Dorit, held Kyle's feet to the fire for trying to downplay her interactions with PK. Meanwhile, the Bravo fans are chiming in, reiterating the sentiment that Kyle lied. Bozoma St. John and Kyle Richards face off at the RHOBH reunion. Bozoma was asked about calling Kyle a liar during an interview from March, which was discussed during the season 14 reunion. "I don't know if Kyle knew that I thought she was a liar or that I think she is a liar," she proclaimed in the throwback clip. "That girl was lying." "Oh wow, okay. I've never been accused of being a liar," responds Kyle after seeing the video. "Well, there were lies told," retorts Bozoma. "You said you were texting jokes and memes, and then it was discovered you said something else." "I never lie," affirms Kyle. "From my perspective, there were omissions," reasons Bozoma. "Omission equals lies." Kyle defends her relationship with PK and says she doesn't gossip about Dorit, except when she spoke to him about their heated feud. Dorit chimes in, engaging in a back and forth with Kyle and calling her juvenile for trying to get PK on her side. RHOBH viewers call out Kyle for lying. The RHOBH preview was posted online, and viewers are already chiming in and siding with Bozoma. "Kyle did lie," exclaimed a commenter. "That text was more than just jokes and memes. Kyle showed the personal text message to them at Chuck E. Cheese, so it's on camera," she lied. "Kyle has lied so many times, we can run down the list of stuff she's lied about," wrote someone else. "Kyle never tells the truth and is never authentic. That is why the audience turned on her years ago," one RHOBH viewer added. Someone posted, "Plenty of people have called Kyle a liar, 'cause she lies." Another commenter added, "People who say I don't lie are actually the biggest liars. The diamonds have never sparkled sharper, and neither have the daggers." In a jaw-dropping sneak peek of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, a new face comes for the Queen Bee with the precision of a corporate titan and the passion of a woman who's had enough. Bozoma St. John, the formidable marketing powerhouse and newest cast member to grace the 90,210 chaos, sets the stage on fire with a face-off that Bravo fans never saw coming. Kyle Richards, long considered the anchor of the series, looks stunned, momentarily silent, even as Bozoma, dressed in a gold sequin power suit and eyes blazing with conviction, calls her out in front of the entire cast and host Andy Cohen. The topic? Alleged manipulation, backdoor alliances, and what Bozoma bluntly calls emotional gaslighting dressed up in tears and tequila. The clip opens with Kyle adjusting her diamond cuff, a telltale sign she's bracing for war. She's seated next to Dorit, who has already shed one fake lash and any ounce of neutrality. Across the couch, Bozoma leans forward, hands clasped, expression calm but ice cold. "You sit there," Bozoma says slowly, enunciating every syllable like she's giving a keynote speech at Cannes, acting like you are the victim. "But Kyle, let's not pretend. You lie, you manipulate, and then you play the martyr when it blows up in your face." Gasps ripple through the room like a seismic wave. Erika Jayne's eyebrows arch so high they nearly disappear into her platinum hairline. Garcelle sips her reunion champagne a little harder, and Crystal silently mouths, "Whoa." Kyle exhales sharply, "Excuse me." Bozoma doesn't blink. "You heard me. I came into this group thinking you were the heart, the glue. But instead, I found a spider at the center of the web, spinning narratives, pitting people against each other, then acting innocent when caught." Andy turns to Kyle. "Is there anything you want to say to that?" Kyle laughs, but it's the brittle kind, the laugh that tries to shake something off but doesn't quite land. "I've been on this show for 13 seasons, Boz. You've been here 5 minutes. And it took me 2 to see through you. Bozoma snaps back, her voice cool but resolute. Experience doesn't equal integrity, Kyle. If anything, it means you've had more time to perfect the game. The tension crackles. Andy, clearly aware that this is Bravo gold, leans in. So Bozoma, are you specifically saying Kyle lied about something this season? Bozoma nods. Multiple things. But let's start with Aspen. Cue the dramatic flashback montage. Kyle whispering to Sutton in a hot tub, crying to Dorrit behind closed doors, then denying she ever insinuated anything. Bozoma's voice plays over the scene like a narrator in a courtroom drama. She planted a story about someone, me actually saying I was trying to get close to Mauricio to get screen time. I heard it from 2 different women. When I confronted her, she gaslit me so hard I started questioning my own memory. Okay, now that's not true, Kyle says, straightening up, color rising to her cheeks. I never said that. I may have asked if it felt like you were strategic, but I never called you a climber. Oh, sweetie, Bozoma says, the sweetie dripping with venom. You didn't have to use the word. You implied it so hard the implication filed a restraining order. Lisa Rinna would have passed out from delight had she still been around. Andy shifts uncomfortably. Kyle, can you admit that maybe you've had moments where your words, intended or not, did more damage than you realized? I'm not perfect, Kyle begins, dabbing under her eye with a tissue that Bozoma side-eyes like it's a weaponized prop. But I've always tried to come from a place of love. I've been going through a lot. There it is, Bozoma interrupts. The sympathy deflection. Every time you're cornered, it's about your personal struggle. And look, we all have them. But that doesn't excuse your behavior. Own it. You're acting like you know everything, Kyle fires back. You don't know what this group has been through, the history. I don't need a history lesson, Bozoma says calmly. I have eyes. And receipts. Crystal chokes on her water. Erica lets out a low whistle. Dorrit looks between the 2 women like she's watching Wimbledon. And while we're at it, Bozoma adds, stop throwing your sister under the bus on national television and then pretending you're protecting her. Kyle's face crumples for a split second, but she quickly regains composure. You don't know what it's like growing up in this family. I know what it's like being a woman and watching another woman weaponize sisterhood as a storyline, Bozoma retorts. You want to protect your family? Then do it off camera. But you brought it here, so don't get mad when people ask why. Andy finally steps in. Bozoma, what's your intention being on this show? She smiles, sharp and unflinching. To show women that you can be successful, stylish, and still hold people accountable. I didn't sign up to kiss rings. I signed up to shine light in dark corners. The sneak peek ends there, leaving fans gasping and scrambling to pre-order popcorn. Online, the Bravo universe erupts. #Team Bozoma trends within minutes. Reddit threads spiral into deep dives about Kyle's alleged manipulation over the years. TikToks surface with fans reenacting the spider at the center of the webline like it's Shakespeare. Meanwhile, Kyle's defenders argue that Bozoma came in too hot, too fast, that RHOBH is about nuance, not takedowns, but others counter that Bozoma simply said what everyone else has been too afraid to. The full reunion hasn't even aired yet, but one thing is crystal clear. Bozoma St. John is not here to play nice. She's here to change the game. And if this preview is any indication, Beverly Hills might never be the same again. And Kyle, she might need more than a tissue and a tequila to survive this one. To be continued.